Hello YouTube fan, it's your boy Brett here with another video. Today we're going to have nothing on the table because if you looked at the title, my whole thing was the 2011 and some other years included in this Toyota Avalon rear window shade. But mine finally failed this year. It would go up, but it would not come down on its own. There was no grinding. There's no grinding sounds. It just kind of goes up. You hit the button, and it would kind of, the arms on the side would try to pop in a little bit, but it wouldn't go down unless I went back there and pushed the arms in and hit the button really quickly to get it down. Now, the first thing I decided to do, I said, well, I'll get it down, and I will disconnect this switch right here. Pull the switch out. There's plenty of videos out there showing how to repair, tear your car apart, to take out the rear deck. There's a whole lot you got to go through to get that rear window shade out in order to repair it, to replace the motor or whatever you decide to do with it. My thing was, you know, most cars don't have a rear window shade, so I'm just going to delete it. So the first thing I did was I unplugged it with the little switch right here. So I pulled the switch out and unplugged the back of the switch and said, okay. The other day I'm driving, dropped by one of my friend's house, get in the car, put it in reverse, back out of his driveway and put it in drive, and the rear window shade pops up. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Built into probably a temperature sensor or a light sensor or a temperature light combination, that rear window shade will pop up on its own, which is kind of an automatic feature. Maybe there's a way to turn that off. I don't know where that is. So today I said, let me see if I can figure out how to disconnect this thing permanently, because I want to get it down and leave it down. I don't want to go through the hassle of tearing my car apart to try to replace the motor in it. So again, if you disconnect the switch, it's still going to come up by itself. So I got to search around the internet trying to figure out, okay, where's the plug? Looked in the trunk, no plug. Nothing back there to unplug to turn this thing off. It finally dawned on me, let's see if there's a fuse somewhere. There's a fuse box which is right under your left knee when you're sitting in the vehicle. If you kind of got to get down there, let your seat back and you crawl under there, and you would see this is the cover that goes on that fuse box. And if you look at the nomenclature on that cover, you would see here, I got the pencil kind of pointing at, there's a 10 amp fuse that says RRS shade, which I'm thinking says rear something shade. The rear shade in the rear window. So that is the fuse you need to pull to turn off and delete power from that rear window shade motor. Here's a picture of the fuse box itself. Once you take it off, please ignore that little red wire there. You're not going to see that on yours. That's something I've wired into my car. If you go down, and I've got an arrow pointing at the exact fuse you need to go, which is just next to a 30 amp fuse. That 10 amp fuse, make sure you kind of get it, because there's a 10 amp fuse on both sides of that 30. Pull the right one, and once you pull that fuse, you now have turned off any power to that rear window shade. This is the cheap fix. This is not the pull out the rear deck and you got to pull the side panels. You got to, you got to go through a lot. Flip this whole, unbolt a bunch of stuff, a bunch of clips that you're going to end up breaking. I'm going to assure you that now on those side panels on each side. So you're going to have to make sure you get some extra clips before you even dig into that. But if you want to just pull the fuse, you just go, okay, I got the shade down, leave it down, don't worry about it. This is the way to go. So guys, short video. I hope you like what you see on this channel, guys. If you do, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and you guys have a blessed day.